More speculation that former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo may be eyeing a political comeback.
In an interview on Good Day New York this morning, he talked at length about many of the issues facing the city, including crime and the migrant crisis.
All right, Fox 5's Chris Welch joins us now in studio, and Chris, Cuomo actually spent much of this interview defending Mayor Adams.
He sure did, Steve and Natasha. He's coming to the mayor's defense on a number of issues, including the migrant crisis and, most notably, the FBI investigation surrounding his chief fundraiser. And he was even a little bit critical of the current governor when it comes to handling the protests we've seen in recent days. And, of course, none of his talk is quieting the speculation from some circles that he might be eyeing a jump back into politics.
And I understand law enforcement. But I think they have been very heavy-handed here with the mayor, publicly humiliating the mayor.
Former Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo coming to Mayor Eric Adams' defense Tuesday in an interview with Good Day New York. Cuomo was asked about the revelations that the FBI pulled the mayor aside at an event, climbed into his SUV with him, then confiscated his phone.
When they do what they did, they've hurt his ability to do his job as mayor. They've hurt his credibility.
He sympathized with Adams on the issue of migrants.
There is no reason why this should have been dropped on the shoulders of New York City with all we have going on.
He says the issue should first be a federal and state concern. But he had what some would call criticism for his former number two, current Governor Kathy Hochul, when it comes to protests that have erupted since the war in the Middle East.
I would also deploy the National Guard. When you see the National Guard out, and we've done this before, it gives people confidence.
We asked two political experts if Cuomo's weighing into the issues and his recent appearances at black churches signals his intention to run for office again, or if it's just Cuomo being Cuomo. Kean University political science professor David Birdsell.
I think it's entirely plausible that he's thinking about a run.
And former state Democratic Party chair Basil Smikle.
I think Andrew Cuomo's leaving his options open, despite the fact that he resigned from office under somewhat of a scandal. He still is very popular among New York voters.
Cuomo spokesman Rich as a Party tells us the future is the future, and he gets these questions often, which I think are fueled by the fact that many people are facing a crisis in confidence in government at many levels, and now view the circumstances in which he left office as the political railroading that it was.